We started by talking with an expert on American politics, and then we turned to some of you, the people. And we spoke with folks who've been in public life here for a long time.
I see hope in a future for us, especially with the younger generation learning and going forward.
That's Tara Jenner, the Republican State Committee woman from Lee County. Dave Ehrenberg is a lifelong Democrat, a former state legislator and state attorney, now with his own law firm in Palm Beach County.
I'm worried, but I'm not as pessimistic as most other people because the courts have pushed back and they continue to do so. Even some Trump-appointed judges have done so.
Linda Pinneman says she's independent, no party affiliation. She's on the Naples City Council.
We're watching democracy go right out the window, in my opinion.
But with speeches, you usually have to come up with your own method of measuring it.
Bethany Bora is an assistant professor in political science at FGCU. Her specialty is American politics.
I feel like we're in not a great spot, but a good spot. I think that there's a lot that worries me about the system, and a lot of that comes from our faith in the system, because it saddens me to see my students kind of lacking that trust in these institutions.
It's terminated. Tell them it's terminated.
We start with Donald Trump trying to expand presidential power like never before. Our experts point out the era of the strong president,
I tell you the blunt fact,
started 90 years ago under liberal Democrat Franklin Roosevelt. Most presidents of both parties have pushed the boundaries ever since. Congress, the legislative branch in our system of checks and balances, gets the blame, even from a Republican.
I think sometimes Congress needs to put their big boy pants on and do their job, because if they don't, if there's a vacuum, it's going to be filled by a strong personality.
Lately, the president has sent the National Guard and the military into big cities to fight crime. Dave Ehrenberg says this is a perfect time for Democrats to flip the script on the president.
We are going to resolve this problem by funding the police, not by bringing in the military in our streets, not by federalizing the National Guard, but funding the police.
this is what democracy looks like.
What about claims of loss of freedom of expression? As we've seen, people can protest nationwide. Others counter-protest. So, are you feeling free?
The last 5 years have been a pretty rough ride, and I think we're clawing our way back to our liberties. It's upsetting some people, but I think it's because the restoration of law and order is contrary to their designs for globalism, which really has to remove America to happen.
I think that fascism is existing within federal government and state government, and we can't do anything except fight back in the way that democracy wants us to fight back, which is with protest.
Some people believe polarization, our massive political divide, may be the root cause of our concerns, but also the hardest to resolve. Yes, the nation was split in the Civil War as Americans killed each other by the hundreds of thousands. The 1960s brought political assassinations, riots in big cities as black people demanded civil rights, and protests against the Vietnam War filled the streets. The nation survived those traumas. But as January 6, 2021 shows, violence can fill our current wide divide. Is there any way to bring people back together?
Hopefully at some point in time we're going to say, this hasn't been fun. I don't know why we continue along this path. It hasn't been fun. I've lost a relationship with my sister. There are other friends that, I can't talk politics with. I mean, this is a big price to pay for having a two-party system that is bifurcated as badly as they are.
Dave Ehrenberg says his party can stop what he calls a move to undemocratic principles.
And that's where the Democratic Party is going to have to decide whether it wants to make noise or win elections. And I think that you can't do anything unless you win elections. You can't save our democracy unless you start winning elections. So I don't want to put too much pressure on my party, but the future of our country depends on us to get it right.
Other thoughts about the future?
We're going to have a great country. Again, it's all a matter of knowing what your rights are and what the government limitations are. If you don't know what those two things are, you will give up your rights inadvertently, and the government invariably will take it.
When it comes to democracy, it's all a facade, really. And it's really just something to keep everyone complacent at the end of the day.
And who is keeping people that way?
Really the 1%, the people who control our governments worldwide.
We have the longest standing constitution in world history. So something has worked. Whether it will continue to, I think it will. But obviously things can change.
Next year, our nation celebrates a milestone birthday, 250 years of the American model of government. And some of the people we spoke to tend to agree we also could be nearing a crossroads, and the path we choose could determine how we govern ourselves and how we define freedom for many years to come. For WGCU News, I'm Mike Walsher.
Many people are looking to find ways to have discussions across political lines. On Wednesday, October 29th, Braver Angels Southwest Florida is hosting a debate workshop. They're a national nonprofit who are, quote, dedicated to bridging the political divide and fostering respectful conversations across differences. Their workshop discussing Alligator Alcatraz will be held at Fort Myers Regional Library on 1st Street beginning at 5:30 p.m.